My name is Rosemary Mallet.
I live right in the centre of the city of Durham.
I'm the Bishop of Newcastle.
I'm married and my wife's name is Fiona.
I'm the chair of the Pastoral Advisory Group.
We're here to tell you about these, which are the pastoral principles for living well together.
The principles are all about how we help the church be the best we can in terms of being a welcoming, inclusive community for all of us, in particular LGBTI plus people.
This is a series of cards which you can use in a parish setting for us to talk about openly, in particular addressing what we've regarded and called the 6 pervasive evils.
So the first principle is acknowledging prejudice. We need to discover and own our prejudices, because once you're aware of them, they don't dominate and rule you anymore.
The second principle is about speaking into silence. All too often we've been unwilling even to discuss matters that are really important in this area.
The third principle talks about the need to address ignorance, for us each to hear other people's stories and to know really why they've made the decisions they've made.
The fourth principle is about casting out fear. If we're afraid of somebody because they are different to us, we aren't able to relate properly.
The fifth principle encourages us to just admit hypocrisy. That so often in the Church of England people have said one thing and done another.
The 6th principle is that we must pay attention to power. Most of us have power within our situations. We need to recognise the power that we have and then to use that power for good.
You might like to take and use these pastoral principles to form part of a discussion at your parochial church council or at your deanery synod or as part of a small group programme or with your youth group.
I'm actually an LGBT person, and there are people who have points of disagreement in relation to the theological position. So we've had to find a way of working respectfully with one another.
I've really enjoyed the opportunity of being on the Pastoral Advisory Group to talk about my own experience of same-sex attraction as somebody who is celibate, as well as hear other people's stories about how to live their lives.
This project encourages us to love and to care and to be inclusive of all around us.
We really hope that these resources will be truly used as we learn together how to welcome one another better, how to understand each other, how to be better Christians.
With these pastoral principles in mind, let's make some commitments for our learning together. We commit to enabling everyone to speak, but without putting people on the spot if they don't wish to speak. Avoiding interrupting each other and acknowledging what others say before moving on to have our say. Keeping confidential anything personal that's shared. Taking care about how we speak about others who are not in the room. And being sensitive to people's feelings. When it comes to learning together, 2 things are needed. We're called to listen to God and to each other as we study the Bible and the world around us together. And we're called to speak about our own experiences and understanding. And we're called to be open to learning from each other and from God.
Listening and speaking to each other in this way is joyful because it allows the love of Christ to flow between us. It's powerful because it enables us to learn together as disciples of Christ, even when we disagree. Not listening is powerful too. It silences and disempowers people and deepens our divisions.
The subjects we're exploring are deeply personal. We may have very strong feelings and convictions about them. This can make both speaking and listening hard. Think about a time when you were listened to attentively, and how that made you feel. Listening well affirms the person being listened to. It's a way of expressing God's love. And think about the opposite experience, of sharing something important and realizing the person you were speaking to wasn't really listening. that can be a painful experience that makes us wary of speaking up again.
Our first challenge is to listen deeply to each other. This means giving whoever is speaking all our attention. It means putting aside our instinct to interrupt and noticing our own feelings of fear, empathy or anger and not letting it get in the way of our listening. It also means remembering that the person who is speaking is loved and cherished by God. Lastly, it means checking that we've listened well by reflecting back what we've heard and asking if that's what the person was trying to say.
Our second challenge is to be willing to speak, to share our stories and talk about our feelings, views, doubts and fears. We might have had a bad experience that makes us afraid to speak up. Everyone needs to make their own judgment about what to share. We can all help to create a safe space by listening respectfully and with the love of God.